at home. Just hope you had a great time. So thank you so much for joining us this early morning. I wanted to also wish our state president, Christine Citrano, a happy belated birthday. Happy birthday to
Well,
you.
thank you.
You had a great day. My name is Julia Montei. I am the Florida State 2020 governor, and I'm from Sarasota. It's my home network. So thank you so much for having me this morning. And we have lots of great information to share with you. We're going to try and keep it just under an hour. But first, and this is very important, we want to acknowledge and recognize our state sponsors, our partners that have supported us throughout the year. And I have invited Miss Marie Gregorio from Tampa Network to read those names for us. Marie.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So thank you, Julia. I appreciate the opportunity to recognize our state strategic business partners for 2020. At the bronze level, we have Miss Angela Torito, Coaching in Real Estate, Best Home Services, Celebration Title Group, Daytona Beach Area Association of Realtors, Erica Price, Exit Sands Realty, Gray Robinson, Ms. Julia Montei, your pet-loving Realtor Sarasota, Lang Realty, your South Florida real estate leaders, Marie Gregorio, your Tampa Realtor, Peace of Mind Home Inspections, Stewart Title, Veteran Nation Real Estate Professionals, Vision Title and Escrow, Women's Council of Realtors Broward, Women's Council of Realtors Central Panhandle, Women's Council of Realtors Port St. Lucie, Women's Council of Realtors Sarasota, and Women's Council of Realtors Stewart Martin County. Thank you to our bronze strategic state partners. At the silver level, we have agentgiftsforbuyers.com, CMG Financial, Housemaster Home Inspection, Hughes Aero Exterminator, Nader's Pest Raiders, Scott and Gia Arbin, Matchmaker Realty, Nan Harper with Harper Penzino Island Realty, Paige Brewer, the Daytona Real Estate Page, RESF, Denora Guerra, Southern Title, Third Federal Savings and Loan, Women's Council of Realtors Daytona Beach Area, Women's Council of Realtors Miami-Dade, and Women's Council of Realtors Naples on the Gulf. Thank you again to our silver state sponsors. At the gold level, we are proud to have John R. Wood Properties, Max Home Inspections, and Realtors of the Palm Beaches. Thank you to our gold sponsors, strategic partners. Platinum level, we would like to thank Pillar to Post for being our platinum state strategic partner. And at the diamond level, as always, we love and thank Florida Powerhouse Home Inspection Services and Turnkey Vacation Rentals. Those are our diamond strategic partners. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you so much. And thank you to all our state partners this year. Without you, we couldn't do what we do. So thank you again. Okay, just by all of you being here today, it tells me that you are looking forward to getting through this shift, being flexible, forward, and faster. And we have great panelists with us this morning, some powerhouses in the business. And I'm going to introduce you to them right now. First, we have Miss Katey Bourgeois of Bourgeois Real Estate Group in Palm City, Florida. She comes from the Stewart Martin County Network. She is a third generation real estate broker born and raised in Martin County, Florida. She is committed to providing excellent service to her customers, continuous education, and improvement of real estate methods and information. Her passion for helping people has led her to be a founding member of the Martin County Young Professionals Network, 2018 local network president of the Women's Council of Realtors Stewart Martin County Network, our 2018 Women's Council of Realtors Florida State Rising Star, 2018 local network entrepreneur of the year, and she currently serves as Martin County Realtor RPAC chair, Martin Realtors Grievance Committee co-chair, and on our Florida Women's Council State Education Committee. She certainly is busy. Katey sets out to help people achieve their dreams, be it through buying real estate or selling real estate, or by helping to accelerate real estate careers. She is a Florida Atlantic University alum, Sterling RPAC donor, YPN 10 for 10 pledge, and a firewalker. Thank you so much, Katey, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Julia.
You're welcome. Next is Miss Christine Citrano. She has been a residential real estate professional since 2004, covering the Naples market. She came into the market just as it was starting an unprecedented upswing. She persevered through the downturn in the 2006-2007 7 year, and she has continued to practice through the ups and downs. She has primarily worked on her own under the John R. Wood Properties brokerage. And in December of 2019, she formed a team with another John R. Wood agent that she has known for many years. And together they have pivoted their business plan to accommodate this current pandemic situation. Christine is the Women's Council of Realtors Florida State President for 2020 and is actively involved with her local association as well as Florida Realtors, where she was part of the 2019 Leadership Academy graduating class. Welcome, Madam President Christine.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. And finally, but not least, we have Miss Ann DeFries. Ann was a Fort Lauderdale Association President in 2005, a Women's Council of Realtors State President in 2000, and a 2008 National Women's Council of Realtor President. Currently, Ann serves as NAR Volunteer Advisory Board Liaison of Associations for President Vince Malta. She is a 5-year mentor in the Florida Mentor-Mentee Program, a Florida Realtor instructor, a facilitator, and a guest speaker for associations and Women's Council of Realtors networks. Ann has been through 4 major market shifts. She entered the market in the late 80s when interest rates were at an all-time high, and it's how she learned what she didn't know was to her advantage. She didn't know the difference between a high interest rate or a low interest rate, and she just kept selling. She was very successful as a new agent because she did not let the mindset of the high interest rates fear meddle with her business practices. Her second bout with a shift was the recession of the early 90s. And again, she didn't think of the effect on us and kept selling, but added foreclosures to her list of services and began relationships with banks. Very smart. The third shift was in 2005 when she was her local association president. She was much more aware of what was taking place. She began receiving calls from the Wall Street Journal and other papers asking her opinion of the rise in prices. She watched the market, discussed it with fellow council members from other large state networks such as New York and California. She saw it coming. She took a management job, which allowed her to get the income as well as to help a local business thrive. And it was a win-win for Ann. It was also in 2005 that Ann saw the need to have a solid financial savings plan. She cut back on expenses and, much to her dismay, purchasing shoes. Today, she's grateful that she has created this plan and is still practicing great financial habits today. Thank you and welcome, Ann DeFries. So let's dive into my questions for you lovely leaders this morning and get this started. My first question will be to Miss Katey Bourgeois. What tool or tools have you put back in your toolbox for the time being? Or as you like to say, what faucets have you turned off and why?
Well, I'll start with the faucets. We turned off all of these subscription services or unnecessary extras immediately when we were asked to stay home before the stay-at-home orders. I have had access to a book that I have been referencing and studying, which details some of the experiences that Christine and Ann have had in prior downturns in our market, just as a precautionary measure. So that's a tool. That book has been a tool for me. And one of those basics is to turn off those things that you don't need, all the unnecessary expenses. Go ahead and put those on hold, or at least look at them, scrutinize your money as it's going out the door. And I would say the tool that I've actually been using the most, which should not have been out of my toolbox, but is the actual phone call. Reaching out to those people in your database, talking to people, letting them know that you care and that you're here as a resource, because we're out and about and we know a lot of people, and we can make those connections for the people that are within our reach and then some. So the phone call for me has gone back into daily use, which admittedly I needed to do anyway.
Great, thank you. Christine, what are the tools that you have quit using as of recent?
Well, much like Katey, I also took a real hard look at my credit card statements and started chopping off those things that under normal circumstances I would just pay for every month without really giving it too much thought whether I use them or not. I really scrutinized what I was doing and made conscious decisions to eliminate services, much like what Katey said. However, one of the things that I did do is I added a service. This was a service that I had used in the past, although not very much, which is why I stopped using it. And I decided to put it back into my toolbox, and that is BombBomb. And BombBomb is a fantastic service that provides you the opportunity to be able to have to send a video either via email or via text message to someone. So for example, if I get a phone call from someone and I can't take that call because for whatever reason I am unable to take the call, I can immediately turn around, shoot a really quick video saying, "Hi, thanks so much for calling me. I'm so sorry I couldn't take your call. I'm with, another customer," or whatever the circumstances, but I'd love to be able to talk to you, and I'll give you a call back later. And I really think that, much like the phone calls, I think that people seeing our faces and hearing us when we're speaking is in this day and age, as close as we're going to get to face. And I think it makes a huge difference. So I put BombBomb back into my toolbox.
That's great. And I've noticed your videos that you've been sending out there. Fantastic. You're doing a great job with those.
Thank you.
I'm going to look back into BombBomb. Miss DeFries.
Good morning, Julia. Well, much like the other ladies, I looked very hard at my credit card statements, and there's an American Express card that I have that I just pay every month. But when I started going through it, I was actually paying for things that I thought I'd canceled a long time ago. The other thing that I've learned is, especially on your mobile phone subscriptions, call. I usually try to call about every 6 months because for some reason, they always make a difference of less amount of money for better services. I had a guy in here a few weeks ago. I was having trouble with my AT&T internet, and he looked at me and he said, "We have a special going on right now." And he said, "I think you can get a higher bandwidth if for the same amount of money." I said, "No way." He said, "Here's the number, call." I called while he was here, and yes, for the same amount of money, I had better services. So I think, especially with our utilities, we need to constantly check them and see if there's a better price for us out there. I think when we're making money, even though I think that I, am very astute with my money, I realize very quickly that I could do much, much better. And it's 50 here and 25 here and 100 here. Well, all of a sudden that adds up. One thing that I've put in my toolbox is virtual listings, which quite frankly, I had never done before. If I had someone that was out of state, I normally FedExed it to them because I didn't feel like they would even want to do a virtual listing. And sometimes that's what we do to ourselves. We put that parameter on ourselves to say they wouldn't want this, when in fact, I think the entire real estate world has changed with the things that we can do. Look at us today. How many of us 2 months ago even knew that Zoom was even out there as a service for us? Now everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. But weeks ago, we started our NAR meetings, weeks ago. And it was another service that I had to master very quickly. When you're sitting on a meeting with 50 to 100 to 600 other people, and you're expected to present during that meeting, you better know the tools that you are using. So I think it's a couple different things. I think it's made us all better at what we're doing as we sit back and really lay it all out. And what is it we're paying for? What is it we're using? And is it benefiting us and our subscribers and customers?
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I think also, we almost are in a forced saving period. Like, I know that I haven't got my hair done, haven't got my nails done, I don't go out to eat as much, I'm saving on gas, so we've got this extra money, we just need to stay off the Amazon Prime. I do, anyway. All right. Okay. So the next question is, with unemployment at an all-time high and with it continuing to rise, what can agents do right now to reach those who are in a financial position to buy? And or to sell, because people that are buying are going to be selling their real estate too. So I guess I'll start with Katey. I know that you are mostly a listing powerhouse. So what do you do with your buying agents?
So I have encouraged the agents in our office that are wanting to work with buyers to be the voice of reason and to be the local expert, bringing that information that there are opportunities in the market, and reminding them, and I remind you all, that the buyers in the market right now are the best qualified. They are thriving through this national emergency, and they're still wanting to purchase homes. So they're probably smarter than the average, so to speak. They're you know, that top level, you know, educate those buyers and be the source of resources for them, and go where the eyes are. So get rid of those advertisements that maybe are not as popular right now, and go digital. Double down, triple down, digital. Really be purposeful with the money that you're spending, because you know there might not be as much coming in, and stand out from the sea of sameness. There's a lot of competition in the market, but we'll see some of that fade away as the competition gets a little fierce. If we have a downturn in our market, the best will be at the finish line.
Yes, it will. All right, Miss Christine.
Yeah, Katie's nailed it. Absolutely. I think the important thing is just with the last question, when we were talking about what we are doing, as far as, having better control of our financial house. I think we as agents need to be advising our buyers that, while they're looking, they need to make sure that their financial house is also in order. And, you know, if there are any gaps, and this is, again, goes for us as well as our prospective customers. If there are any gaps within their financial house, they should make sure that they take care of those, and take the time to fix them, and then move forward while they're continuing to look for a house. Because lenders nowadays may initially give, if somebody is financing, lenders may initially give a pre-approval for something, but they will also do an income verification within 5 days prior to closing, and things can change within that period of time. So I think it's really important as agents that we are educating our buyers and letting them know in a very realistic situation what is going on in the world right now, so that excuse me, so that they are prepared and they know what to expect. I think setting expectations is always an important thing.
Okay, thank you. Anne?
I think it's what's between our ears, and our thought process. If we think this is a bad market, it's going to be a bad market. If you know your market stats, then you realize it actually has been a very good market, and we are not off very much at all. So my advice would be to go on the Florida Realtors website, know your market trends for your communities and your subdivisions. If any of you heard Lauren June during the NAR meetings in the past couple weeks, if you did not hear him, you need to search for his video. States that were deemed essential real estate states are at 85 to 90% of their normal sales. We are not off as much as what people think we are. And I think it behooves us as realtors to keep that positive attitude, because buyers always have to buy and sellers always have to sell. So know what you're doing and keep your mindset a positive one.
Great, thank you, thank you. All right, with virtual marketing and videos on the rise, what can agents do to make their videos stand out amongst their competitors? Listing videos and general marketing videos. Katey?
And there's a lot you can do with professional photography, professional videography, 3D Matterport tours. If you have these tools, you know, shifting to the virtual world that we've been living in for the past 3 months, as a rule, when we take listings, we do the 3D Matterport tour. And I've been able to immediately pivot and shift to doing everything virtually. So I'm doing walkthroughs on Zoom, pre-recorded, or screen to screen, and hosting virtual open houses through the MLS tied to a Facebook page. There's so much you can do if you just have the right media first, then you can blast it in any way you can think of. So definitely, you have to do it. If you don't have the material, then there's not much you can do. I myself was a little afraid of getting in front of the camera, and now you can't stop me. Now if somebody wants to have a phone call about something, I want to jump on Zoom and share my screen, and let's talk about the same document or something that the question is on. So just do it. Be yourself, be authentic, because that's who you are, and that's who people know, like, and trust. Get it out there. Just do it. That's in a nutshell. Just do it.
Awesome. And Christine,
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that
How
I'm
do you make
totally
more? What else?
stealing Katie's word, shivot. I love that. Shift, pivot, shivot. Totally using that. But what I have done, and again, just like I've told so many people, when you are on camera, when you are doing a virtual tour, virtual open house, when you are doing a Zoom, I've started doing listing and buyer consultations via Zoom. And I got to tell you, I love it. I will not stop doing this. I love to be able, in my marketplace, I have people who are generally not here that are looking to buy. So we start a dialogue 6 months to a year in advance. So to be able to, for them to be able to see my face and for me to be able to see their face and to read their body language, I think is become huge. And it creates a sense of comfort and trust that an email or a text message or even a phone call may not necessarily do. So that is one thing that I've done is really amp up the virtual consultations with both buyers and sellers. And as you said, Julia, I mean, my business partner, Jeanette, and I have just gone full force into doing virtual open houses. We do 2 every week. They're not all our listings. At this point, we're just selecting listings that are within our brokerage's house. We have certain parameters that we're looking to do an open house with. And we preview the properties in advance, and then we go in and we shoot it. We do Facebook Live. We opened up a YouTube channel, so we take those virtual tours and convert them into a video and upload it onto our YouTube channel, as well as having them housed on our Facebook business page, and then sharing them for both of us, sharing them on every platform that we have, sending them out to our database of customers, and then also letting our database of customers know in advance, and via Facebook creating events in anticipation so we can get more people watching or at least checking in after the fact. I think that when you're doing video, I know it can be very intimidating for people when they're first starting. Nobody likes the way they look. Nobody likes the sound of their own voice. But the truth of the matter is we're the only ones who are unfamiliar with it. Everybody else knows what we sound like and knows what we look like. So we just need to get over it and just be ourselves, be genuine, be authentic, be real, be human. And that, I think, is most important in, again, creating that sense of trust with your potential customer. Is, it's sort of like, the image of, the beauty shot on somebody's business card, and then in reality, they don't look anything like that. Well, you can't hide that when you're doing virtual reality. So I think you need to get over yourself and realize that it doesn't really matter what you look like. They just want to know who you are. And have fun with it. Absolutely have fun with it. I think that what we have more or less been forced into doing with this pandemic and this social distancing is not going to go away. I think that for years we've been told, do video, do video, do video. And now we're like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to do video. I don't, again, like I said, I'm not going to change. And I think that going forward, once this pandemic is over, I think that our business, this real estate business, and the expectations of our customers is going to be that we are doing video. So for me, this is where it's at.
Great. And Ann, you said you are starting to do videos yourself. How is that going for you?
Oh, well, you know, I want to give a shout out to Women's Council, and let me tell you why. I can remember years ago, at our state meetings and our national meetings, them giving us tips and tricks on how to do videos. Does everybody remember that? And we went in there screaming and kicking and saying we can never do this. Now, I mean, to be honest with you, Women's Council members were the first ones out there doing videos. Stop and think about it. We were the first ones out there doing videos because we may not have been that comfortable with it. Maybe it took us, you know, 5 tries or 50 tries, whatever, for us to be, you know, happy with it. But we knew the basics of all of it. So we were already ahead of many other people. And this is also what I'm going to say. I've had 2 listings in the past week that have sold within hours. And why? Because I have always used a professional photographer. And anybody that doesn't spend $150, and I don't care if it's a $50,000 listing or a $5 million listing, you are doing your sellers, I think, a real disservice. I can always tell when photos are done by iPhones or whatever it is that you're taking a photo by. And it makes a difference. I know that it has made a huge difference in my listing selling in the last couple weeks. And I also know that they're being shown over other ones. Our photographers need the money, guys, and they are willing to mask up and put gloves on and go into our listings. So it's a partnership. So what we do video-wise and what we hire to be done with us, you know, it's a win-win situation.
Right. And I think, you know, Matterport too, I know that when I do a virtual tour and I don't have a listing, I'm definitely looking for somebody in my office that has a video with Matterport. That is great to walk through with clients as well. So I think I see that on the rise too.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. Let's see, okay, so what would you consider your most valuable Women's Council of Realtors tool in your tool belt? Katie.
Oh, it's got to be the people. It's got to be the Women's Council members, the network of amazing people that I have had the pleasure of meeting and serving with. And, you know, going back to Ann's point about, you know, our educational sessions in Orlando, Rory and I last year did a session on video. Again, you know, kind of, you know, getting people more and more comfortable, the top 10 tips for getting in front of the camera, just doing it kind of thing. So I think that definitely the network of people through that I have been in contact with Women's Council has thoroughly improved my life. And I love talking to people like Marie, and I see Michelle Bailey here and Julia across the state. And we get to kind of, we share with each other what's working and what isn't, and new ideas. And anytime I have access to anybody else that I can make a phone call to or send a referral to, I do it through Women's Council. I know that they're the top notch in that area that I need some help in or have a question or have a referral for. So I would say the most valuable Women's Council tool are the members of Women's Council.
Awesome, great answer. Christine, for you?
Well, I mean, gosh, I don't know. There isn't really much of value here. I don't even know why I'm sitting as president, quite frankly. No, I will be honest. There are so many valuable things with this organization, and I think we all recognize those things. Otherwise, we wouldn't continue to be a part of it. The networking and truly the friendships that I've made. I, like Katie has said, I mean, I know I can pick up the phone and I can call a Women's Council member from anywhere in the country and have a conversation with them and find out what's going on in their market and what are they doing and, you know, how are they getting through this? And it's just an amazing way to connect with people. on a professional as well as a personal level. I mean, it's not one or the other. It's really both. They mesh so well together. The classes that we've done, and I'm really very, very proud of national and us as a state and many of the local networks here in Florida. During this pandemic, we all pivoted so quickly in providing our members with virtual events, whether they were social events or they were educational events, bringing in really wonderful panels and speakers to talk about the subjects that we are all interested in. And I think that that's just kind of an extraordinary thing, rather than getting stuck in the minutia and the difficulty and the discomfort of what this pandemic has brought us. We just said, okay, this is what we wanted to do. Not going to do it this way, just shift gears, and we're still going to move forward. We're just going to do it this way. And without any hesitation on all three levels, national, local, state, and local, that has happened. And I'm very, very, very proud to be a part of this organization for being on the forefront of making those kinds of shifts. We support one another. We are a family. We are an organization that really does want every single one of us to do well. And then that's an extraordinary thing. You don't see that in every organization out there.
It's very true. Miss Ann?
And all that. But I will say that for me personally, it has always been the support. It is the support of sharing knowledge and sharing tools, what we're using, the newest, the best, the brightest. We have always not hesitated for 1 second to share something. How often do we go somewhere and they say, you'll hear someone say, I'm not going to share that, they're in my marketplace. Well, I think Women's Council members understand and know that there's enough business out there for all of us 10 times over. And we are happy to share with each other, whether you are in my marketplace or not. If I can help make you a better realtor, I'm going to do whatever it is that I possibly can do to help you with that, because I know that you will turn around and do the same for me. There are tech things that I'll hear about something and I'll pick up the phone and I'll call and I'll say, so-and-so, I know that I saw something on Facebook. Where did you buy it? How are you using it? I have friends in California that always I have called. We tend to be about 6 months behind normally in their market. And so knowing what they're doing in California and how their business is can be very important to us in Florida. So it's the relationships, it's the education, and being able to pivot or shift. You know, I really believe that, because we know how to do that without getting flustered, without standing back and saying, I give up. Have you ever heard any Women's Council member ever say, I give up? No, because they know that there's a support system there for them, you know, to help them through those times, and we all have them, you know, whether it's personal or professional, to get through something.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna end with one last question, and then we've got, I guess, a bunch of people asking questions in the audience, so that's great. The last question for the panelists today is, what is the biggest takeaway that you have learned and implemented in your business during this pandemic? And again, I'll start with Katie since we're on a roll here.
Wow, the biggest aha maybe, or a confirmation of it, is that we need to be fast, fluid, and flexible, or fierce, focused, and flexible. You know, I have imparted that with everyone in my office. We have 14 agents, 14 realtors in our office plus staff, and we've kept that smile on our faces the whole time. We've surrounded ourselves with positive information, moving forward, and I would say, you know, video conferencing, it's like Christine said, it's not going away. I actually prefer it. I don't have to get in the car and drive. and don't have to put my high heels on if I don't want to. I can sit at my desk at the office or at my home office and have the same professional interaction as I would in person, and probably better because I have more resources at my fingertips on the computer, and sending everything digitally. So I would say video for sure, video training, everything's available at our fingertips, even more so than it was before. And I'm thrilled that our industry and our world that we live in has become faster and more focused and flexible.
Thank you, Katie. Christine, what is
I think that we, in any situation, and particularly now, but we always need to be open-minded towards everything, towards the changes that are happening, towards the potential consequences of our actions, towards one another with a sense of compassion and trying to understand. I think that being open-minded will allow us to be able to know the choices that we make and and to choose the direction that we're going to take ourselves, to be able to pivot or to shivot, which I'm totally hashtagging that, Katie. I'm not even kidding you. But to be able to just look at the situation, take our blinders off, take our minds, our predetermined mindset on, and just look at the situation and decide, okay, what do I need to do here? And I think that that is hugely important. It is being flexible. It is, I used to say to my kids when they were young, and especially my daughter, because she's very much like me, so I was really talking to myself, but I would say, be a willow tree, don't be an oak tree. Because the willow is going to bend with the wind, but it's going to survive. That oak tree is maybe big and strong, but one strong wind is just going to snap that thing right to the ground. And I think having that flexibility and being able to bend and accommodate what's going on, but never really losing your roots, is hugely important. Video marketing, absolutely, that is not going anywhere. It is going to remain a part of our business for a long time until the next big thing, which I don't know, maybe it'll be holograms or something like that. And we zoom into somebody's living room, which would be completely creepy, but it's possible. And I just think keeping a positive attitude, I mean, everything that goes around comes around, and nothing is final. Nothing is ever, ever final.
very true? Ian, what's your biggest takeaway?
It's all of those combined, but I want to add one other thing. I think in the past, we have all taken our local, state, and national associations and the staff at National Women's Council for granted. And when we look at what they were able to do in a matter of weeks to put on an actual convention virtually for 27,000 registrants, it is amazing to me. It is amazing. Our local associations, our state associations, they have all been there to help us, fill out forms when needed, or to keep real estate afloat. I was on many association calls with the state association sharing what they were doing and how they were getting realtors back to work and how they were making their states essential. And knowing that we have that right behind us. NAR has a staff of 350. Women's Council has a national staff of 10. Look what they were able to do. I mean, it is amazing to me, and I just really appreciate that. For me, that was a huge aha moment.
Thank you so much. And I know that a lot of the associations are discounting costs for education. I've been trying to amp up my education while in this time at home. It's been a lot easier, a lot more affordable. So I appreciate our associations for offering that as well, and NAR. Okay, so Marie Gregorio, we've got some questions in the audience. Who do we have first?
We do. So Sherry Meadows had asked a few minutes ago if anyone was having success providing 3D tours with your listings to out-of-state buyers. So those of you that are dealing a lot with out-of-state buyers, how is the 3D tours working for you, and are you having success with them?
Katie,
Yeah, like I said, when we take listings,
we'll give you this one.
we always want to do a 3D Matterport tour, even if it's 250,000 or 780,000 or more. We always do that 3D Matterport tour as long as we have access to the property and the camera's available. So my husband has the 3D Matterport camera. I pay him for that service. And then once you have that footage, you can do so much with it. You can do virtual walkthroughs recorded. You can do them live, screen to screen. You can do virtual open houses. If you want to go on Facebook and search, or I can send you a link or drop one in the chat here in a second. I'll show you what I'm doing. Guys, do it. We're getting calls from New Jersey, New York. A portion of that is that we're advertising to those areas specifically that we feel would be a good fit for our community. Those people that we know are coming because of lower taxes and no state income tax and all of those dynamics. We're looking at the metrics. We're advertising to them to our Facebook event page, which is the virtual open house for days. Then we go live at the property. So I'm happy to share, if anybody wants to look at what we've got, I'll drop it in the chat real quick. I'm getting calls from New Jersey. I'm telling them not to come yet. Don't come down yet because you're going to be quarantined for 2 weeks, but understand. And they have a very good idea of what the area looks like, what the property looks like, what they're dealing with. When they come down, they're going to deal with one of the Bourgeois real estate group agents. And I'll drop something in the chat if you guys want to check it out.
Okay. One of our members in the Pinellas County, St. Pete Beach, Clearwater area, Cindy Hayden, is using something called ImmoViewer, IMMOVIEWER, over Matterport. Aside from Cindy, is anyone else using this platform, and pros or cons to it? And then maybe actually, I'll see if Cindy can give us a. Nobody? Oh, go ahead, Ms. Ann.
I use it. It's a benefit from our association, and I like it very, very much. It's easy to set music to it, and I just find it very user-friendly.
I have not heard of ImmoViewer, and probably if I'm butchering that. So one of our other questions came from Christy May, so I'm curious if this is going to be one of what we could use here. But Christy May asked, who do we use for caption and music and transitioning with our videos? So I'm assuming maybe this ImmoViewer might be a platform that we could use, but does anybody else have suggestions on who we are using for captioning music, video, and transitioning?
Anyone?
I will
ahead.
say,
Thank you, Christy.
I will say that at this point, Christy, I have not been doing captions or having the movies on my videos. But it is something that I have started to consider, and I am now in the process of searching for different reviews on putting captions in your videos. I do think it's probably a good idea, particularly if your viewer is in a place where they can't listen to it because they're at, they're in
Work.
or whatever. Well, I'd say work, but everybody's working from home mostly.
It's easy to unmute,
but
though.
it's the opportunity for them to be able to still get the information by reading it versus hearing it.
Well, also Google does not scan videos the same way they do words. If you put words up, you're like 5,000 times more likely to be found by Google.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing, Christy. There's a few different ones being also shared in the chat. So rev.com does transcriptions. App.zubtitle. I've seen a couple of people put Zubtitle. Z-U-B title. Zub, Z-U-B title.
Okay.
It's there, and these are in the chat, guys, that I'm reading. We video, super easy to edit music and scroll included, Cindy? Not sure. But let me jump back to a couple of questions. Actually, it wasn't a question, but something I wanted to share. Denora Guerra shared sunstats.com. Sunstats.com. It is provided by Florida Realtors, and it's a way to access the stats that we were discussing per zip code. So I think sometimes on Florida Realtors, we can't scroll down to our specific maybe zip codes. We end up with a city and or maybe even the county in certain areas, especially in more rural areas. So Sunstats, SUNSTATS.com is allowing to scroll down to zip code stats. And I'm checking Facebook. I don't see any questions on the Facebook group, but just more sharing of some other tools. Anybody else have any questions this afternoon?
Instagram. Does anyone do
this morning?
Instagram. Anyone doing Instagram? From Facebook to Instagram?
Open house.
I have, my partner and I both have, we have a team Instagram page. Yeah. And we are posting on that Instagram page what we're doing. I'm trying to create an overall look versus, you know, smatterings of pictures, because I've been told by my millennial son that if hey, you know what, when it comes to Instagram, I'm going to listen to this kid. But that, you know, if the overall look of your Instagram page is just everywhere, like looking at a bunch of people's snapshots, your viewer is just going to move on. You're not going to grab their attention. You have to have a consistent look, a theme, if you will, for them to stay on your page, which is what you want. So I'm working on that. The one thing that I haven't done yet, explore yet, is Instagram stories and IGTV. That I haven't done yet, but that's definitely on my list of things to conquer.
So what platform can you start your video with that you can take to the other platforms? What's the best place to start?
Well, again, for me, I shoot virtual tours, virtual open houses. I mean, I either do Facebook Live, and then I save it, and then I download that later, and I can then take that MP4 file and upload it onto YouTube.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that I do. Or if I'm just shooting a video and I'm not on Facebook Live, same principle. Can download it and then upload it onto YouTube.
Thank
you.
You.
That's what I've been doing. I haven't figured out how to do something with Instagram, because I believe Instagram stories or IGTV is limited to like 1 to 3 minutes. And quite frankly, my virtual walking tours are longer than that.
Cindy Hayden.
On stories, on Instagram stories, you don't have to do them live. You can actually pre-record transitions in Canva. Canva is a great resource. I have the paid subscription. One thing that I'm not giving up is that paid subscription to Canva. And I did drop it in the chat. Animoto is part, I believe, of Canva. So you can do a video of and add captions and all that, or you can make a very short one and upload it as a story to Instagram. Yes. That's as far as I've gotten. I have I've not dabbled in Instagram IGTV yet.
Thank you. Cindy Hayden, Christy was sharing WeVideo. She said WeVideo was a great way to, with the Instagram, I guess, taking it and transitioning it as well to the different platforms. Cindy also posted a link, Christy, on the chat. So if you'll scroll into the chat, she was saying, I do Zoom to WeVideo, then we can format it in any format easily. She also spoke about Canva for real estate. So that was and another Animoto, max 10 seconds, but they're strung together. Couple shout outs real quick. Thank you, Heather, for being on the call with Pillar to Post. She is with the Jeff Mackey team, home inspectors in the Orlando area. So one of our Pillar to Post sponsors was on with us today. So she's been very cheerleader for us in the chats online. So we want to thank her for being on with us today. Do we have any other questions? I don't see anything on Facebook either. BombBomb is offering a free 14-day trial. So BombBomb was one of the video platforms mentioned.
It was not a problem, BombBomb, until you're at the airport talking about BombBomb. Oh, yeah. I actually
That's a true story.
had security walk behind me and say, "What are you doing?" I said, "This is a video thing, not an explosive thing." So, but now that we're not flying, it's probably a good one.
Right. All right, so no more questions this morning?
Scrolling one more time. Shout outs from Ocala, Jacksonville, Stewart area, Clearwater, St. Pete. So a lot of our members from around the state on today. And did I miss any questions, guys? You can unmute yourself, or if you want to just raise your hand. I've got all the faces mostly up in front of me if you want to yell and scream at me if there was something else that we didn't get to ask.
I do have something,
Anybody?
Marie and Julia. I had another aha moment just listening to these fabulous Women's Council leaders. What I heard was that many excuses have been exhausted and our limitations have been removed as far as virtual, online, at our fingertips. So one more aha for the day.
I have a question.
Hi, Miss
Julia.
Julia.
Hi, Julia Montei. It's Julia Sansevere.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. What great information and great to see all your beautiful faces. I have a question about Instagram. It's a limited amount of video to 60 seconds. Is that correct? And how do you post something that's longer? And I know you can't post a link because I've tried. It has to be organic video.
I personally have done it where Christine was
What?
talking, I think her son was saying that's probably the way to do it, but the way I've done it is just taking, when you start a video, is when you hold on to the button, you're taking a picture, basically you're starting and stopping the video, and it'll take you through a minute, and you can post it, and it just takes you a snapshot through the house. So you can start as you walk in, you can do an introduction of yourself and have your sign in the background, and then do your walkthrough and just make sure that it's 60 seconds, and you can practice it, but it works fairly well for me.
But do you so you have several? Are you able ever to link them together? Or you just do 60-second bursts or something?
I found that it's only 60-second bursts.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, I
Katie,
just want to
I'll
say
be
hi to everybody. And can you guys hear?
Yolanda.
Hi. And, you know, I have a permitting service and I work with a lot of realtors and title companies and attorneys for open permit issues. But I just want to say the Women's Council Realtors has been a huge, huge asset to just me as a woman who's in business, and having the relationship and hearing the strength and the encouragement, and even all of the guest speakers that you bring in have just been so amazing. So I don't feel like I'm disconnected from you all just because you're realtors, and I'm not. I think we're all dealing with the same thing, which is land. And I just think this is so amazing because, yes, I've had to readjust several times, especially with the billing departments in the different municipalities, and knowing how to meet your needs as well. So hearing all of this, yes, I'm trying to learn Zoom too, because I was out here early trying to say, oh my God, well, what's going on? Oh, they're going to be able to see me. Let me go get changed. I don't know what I'm doing. But, I didn't want one of those videos, okay? And then I'll be disbarred from you guys. But I just wanted to say thank you so much. This was such great information. And I definitely will keep that positive attitude, and even trying to boost the morale with the different contractors, the different ones that are just down and out. I'm trying to encourage them, no, go still build. We still need this stuff, right? Go remodel. We still need it. So, but thank you guys so much. This was amazing. Just amazing.
Thanks,
Yolanda. Miss Julia Montei?
All right.
Got
Well,
about 6 minutes left in the hour.
if we don't have any more questions, we can early and start our day and get out there and sell, and help our clients and be helpful to others and lift each other up.
Madam
Can I say
President
something?
Christine?
Just wanted to remind everybody that, yes, please have a good attitude. Keep, as Ann said, keep what's between your ears really happy and sunshiny and sparkly and unicorn and all of those other words, whatever is going to put a smile on your face. Hey, I have lots of things over here I can show you.
I did think, I was like, that's not a unicorn.
Here, how about this one? I got this unicorn. This was a gift from somebody.
There you go.
Anyway, we are planning to meet in August for our annual, convention.
I'm
So
hugging
unless I
everybody,
hear
just so you
otherwise
know.
from Florida Realtors, that is what we are planning on. And just be prepared when I come at you with my big arms out like this, because I am definitely in need of some warm hugs from you people. But we're going to put together a really great show, and I hope you all plan on attending. I think Florida Realtors, I think Orlando in August is not going to be prepared for the amount of enthusiasm and love that the Florida Realtors are going to bring into that town. So put it on your calendar and please try to attend. You will not be sorry.
I'm so
Thank you, Julia, for putting this on. This was
absolutely. And thank you so much for being here. Katey Bourgeois, Christine Citrano, and DeFries. Really appreciate
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I hope everybody got a lot of takeaways. Wrote some things down. Be sure to write all the names down that you see in the participants, because that's a great way to start your referrals going back and forth. So think about referrals and all of us in the different areas. And thank you so much for being here today. And I hope we'll do another one soon. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Julia.
Bye. Thank you.